The Unholy. Yeah. More like an unholy bloomin' mess. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now in this video, I'd just like to do a review of a new horror paranormal thriller that I watched just the other night, and that movie is called The Unholy. Now, as I say, I watched this movie the other night, and I have to say, guys, I was immensely disappointed with it. Yeah, it's actually based on the 1983 novel by James Herbert's Shrine, which I have here in paperback. I first read this novel in 1983. Actually, I actually bought the hardback when it came out. But getting back to this movie version of it, guys, I wasn't very impressed at all. But if you're not familiar with The Unholy, I'll just read you the blurb at the back and just talk a little bit more about it, and generally give me my thoughts, on the movie as a whole. Okay, so yeah, The Unholy, based on James Herbert's 1983 best-selling book Shrine, follows a young hearing-impaired girl who is visited by the Virgin Mary and can suddenly hear, speak and heal the sick. Now, as people from near and far flock to witness her miracles, a disgraced journalist, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, hoping to revive his career, visits a small New England town to investigate. As terrifying events begin to happen all around him, he starts questioning if these miracles are the works of the Virgin Mary or something much more sinister. So yeah, guys, as I say, I was very disappointed with this movie. Just give you a little bit more background detail on it. Yeah, it's a Ghost House Pictures production. Yeah, a movie by Evan Spiliotopoulos. I hope I pronounced that right. Stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Casey Aselton, William Sadler, Cricket Brown and Diogo Morgado. Yeah, so as I say, yeah, produced by Sam Raimi and written for the screen and directed by Evan Spiliotopoulos. That's the right mouthful, that. Evan Spiliotopoulos. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. So on to my thoughts now on The Unholy as a whole. Yeah. I didn't like this movie at all. It wasn't a patch on the original novel Shrine by the late great James Herbert. Yeah, it was nothing special. It was very slow, real slow burner. It wasn't frightening at all. The story wasn't very solid, and I just there was nothing about it, guys. I liked this. Even when you actually seen the creature, well, the entity, it was one of those formulaic, what you've seen countless times before, like a jerky, like sort of like double jointed entity that crawls around and jerks before the camera, like in films like The Grudge and that, and The Ring and that. You've seen it countless times before. Totally unscary, totally unfrightening, and as I say, it was nowhere near as good as the James Herbert novel, and they actually deviated quite a lot in this movie from the original Herbert novel. For instance, Alice, the main female protagonist, she was about, I think she was about 18, yeah, whereas in the novel, I think she's around about 11 or 12, yeah. So change there, and they did have the reporter in, Jerry Fenn and that, but again, I didn't like his character. It just didn't do anything for me at all. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on any of the actors in this, to be honest with you. Yeah, but it basically goes along the lines of, like this deaf mute Alice, she sees, well, what she thinks she sees, an apparition of the Virgin Mary. But of course, with it being a horror movie, it turns out to be anything but. Yeah, something more dark and sinister going on. Something more dark and sinister going on here, guys. Yeah, I expected quite a bit from this movie, but having watched it, yeah, I was very disappointed. Yeah, but I'm not putting you off if you want, because I know that there are some people this movie does have its lovers. So I'm not trying to put you off. If you want to see it for yourself, rent it or buy it, that is entirely up to you. This is just my opinion. I wasn't impressed at all with The Unholy. And I'll just show you the back there, guys, again. A couple of photos there. There's the main male protagonist, Jerry Fenn, the reporter, and then the girl who's helping them, investigating, like, yeah. As I say, it basically follows along the lines of the story. Like once they see Alice's cure, she can cure people. They make this tree. It's got like supernatural connotations. Like it's got quite a bit of a dark history about it. And you know, the reporter, he's sort of like, I won't go on too much about it. He's looking for this next big scoop because his career's like on the wane. And so when he finds this tree, and it's like there's an object in the tree, and he sort of like pulls it out, and like he sort of like activates, you know, the entity in that, yeah, from you know, a couple of centuries ago. But yeah, it was very, very poorly done. I wasn't impressed at all. You get, I say, getting back to the story, you get all the people flocking to it. They make it a shrine, basically, like they did in the you know, the Herbert novel. They make the place where Alice claims to have seen the Blessed Virgin a shrine where people from near and far, you know, flock in their thousands, not hoping to be. It becomes like Lourdes, you know, like a shrine, and that people go in there and that, you know, and want to be cured and that. And then you've got a couple of priests in it as well. And there's one particular priest, he's trying to sort of like debunk this theory about Our Lady appearing and that, you know, yeah. And so you've got him, you've got the reporter, you've got the girl who's helping him and that, and of course you've got like Alice herself and that, you know, who claims to have seen the Virgin Mary. But yeah, it was a very dull movie, guys. Yeah, you know, there's a missed opportunity here, and I really, if you're gonna do a movie about a James Herbert novel, you've got to do it right. You know, I think like they've only made a handful of movies from Jim's novels, and the only one that really did it for me was Haunted. You know, I wasn't too keen on the other movie adaptations and that, yeah. So, you know, if you're going to do one of his novels, you've got to do it right. You know, I mean, The Rats and that, they've done a movie adaptation of his book, The Rats and that, and they actually used, according to Jim himself, they actually used Dassens and that, you know, when he put sort of like rat sort of like rat suits on them and that, and they were running around barking, yeah. But getting back to this, guys, yeah, I was very disappointed in it and that, yeah, missed opportunity. The story wasn't very good. It was dull. It was a slow burner, and the entity wasn't frightening. It's something what you've seen over and over again. And another thing I must say, this was actually a movie. It was a bit dated because it was a movie of its time, because Shrine was written in the early 80s, 1983, not long after all the possession movies came out in the wake of The Exorcist. You had The Omen, The Exorcist, and you had like The Entity, and they're all coming out one after another. So basically, Jim wrote his novel like around about that time, a couple of years after, when all this paranormal craze was still going on, and sort of like it seems to be rooted in a time walk. It seems to be rooted in the 80s, well, when in actual fact it's supposed to be modern times and that. But it's, you can see it's got the general aura of being, you know, being rooted in the 1980s. So that was another failing in that. Yeah. Okay, so onto a rating now of 1 to 10. I think I'd have to give the Unholy 4 out of 10. Didn't do anything for me. Missed opportunity. I didn't like the story. The characters weren't very multi-dimensional. You know, there was no real subplot. And all in all, it was a generally unscary movie, ponderous, unscary. You know, it's sort of movie you can watch late at night on your own and not feel any fear at all. Yeah. Okay, so that's my review of The Unholy, the new paranormal thriller based on James Herbert's 1983 bestseller Shrine. Have you seen The Unholy? Give me your thoughts on it. Yeah. As I say, you know, I wasn't too keen on it, but I'm not trying to put yous off if you want to rent it and see it for yourselves. You know, this is just my opinion. Yeah, because this is a kind of a Marmite movie, really. A lot of people hate it. And a lot of people like it. But I have to say, I'm one of those people who absolutely hated it. Yeah, I certainly won't be revisiting it. And another thing I didn't like as well, the colour wasn't very nice. It was sort of like a dull, dirty dishwater, washed out colour. You know, it didn't really shine off the screen and that. So that was another thing I didn't like about it. Yeah, and yeah, but its main problem was it was very, very slow paced, a real slow burner. And all in all, yeah, as I say, the rating 4 out of 10. That's all, as far as I'm concerned. That's all The Unholy's worth. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, stay safe, And in my next video, I've asked quite a few pickups over the last week or two. So my next video will be showing the pickups I've made and that. Yeah. Okay, well, that's it for now. Talk to us all again soon. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, you might be interested to know that as well as doing horror movie reviews, I've written quite a few horror and supernatural titles myself. So this is just an example, of what I've written. They were the 2 volumes of my horror story series. I've written the True Ghost Story series, 3 books on the Hammer Horror Studios, Werewolf Novella, Werewolf Nightmare, and finally my largest book to date is 200 True Ghost Stories. So as I say, if you enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to find out more about my life and me life as an author and that, and reviewer, just you can go along to my website at www.alantoner.com, and you can read more about my life as an author and that, and why I love the genre so much. And you can check out all my book titles because they're all listed there on my website. I also have an Amazon author page as well you might like to check out. So yeah, so as I say, yeah, there you go. Okay guys, take care.